Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Drewberry, and I just want to bring awareness to what I believe is an upcoming economic collapse in Marvel Snap that needs to be adjusted quickly. And I want to preface by saying that I have full faith in Team Second Dinner. They've been faced with similar situations to this before, and they've come out with the best solutions possible, even better than what I could have thought of. So I believe they will recognize this and fix it as people continue to complain about it. But I feel like I have to do my part in bringing awareness to it because it's only going to get worse. So let's start by looking at the snap economy in general. Now, there's a few factors here, obviously, that I'm not including just for the sake of simplicity, okay? For instance, gold isn't just available from buying it with money. That is like one of the main ways that you can acquire gold and kind of be a whale in this game. But you can also just get gold from your chests, right? Your collector's reserves, collector's cash. I like to call them chests. It's easier. That's what they look like to me. But also you can get gold from the season pass if you purchase that, or you get a minimal amount if you're a free-to-play player. You'll get some gold from the season pass. The same goes for boosters. It's not just from playing the game. You can also get boosters from season caches, which is when you've finished out the season pass track and you get those extra chests, or from the season pass itself. So that's just a few examples, right? There's a few examples of how you can acquire these currencies through other methods. And I like that they do that. Honestly, I think the economy was in a pretty decent spot until a few recent changes, okay? So here we go. So you got money. You use your money to buy gold. Now, this is like the boss currency in Marvel Snap, right? Like this will allow you to do a lot of things. When you have gold, you can then purchase credits, or you could do the quests so that you get season XP. Either or, you end up with credits, right? So then you use these credits alongside with your boosters, which you have accumulated from playing Marvel Snap and playing with your cards. You got those boosters. Okay, great. I upgrade my cards and then I get a chest, which is great. But as you can see from right up here, the chances of getting a new card is kind of low, especially if it's a series 4 or 5 card. And then tokens isn't all that great. Until level 1000, you only have a 25% chance of getting 100 tokens. That is very slow. And we're going to get into the prices of what some of these cards cost token wise, but it would take a very long time and is definitely impossible to have a full collection, especially if you're just starting. So brutal for new players and even middling players. Level 1000 is no joke. It takes a while to get there. But okay, let's say you've been playing for a long time and you're past level 1000. Well, now you have a 25% for getting 100 collector's tokens, but you also have a 22.25% chance of getting 400. So you have about a 50% chance, let's just round it out, of getting tokens in some fashion. And really quickly, that's not even just after level 1000. It's only until you have a full series 3. Which is like collection level 3000 approximately, maybe a little bit sooner than that, than past players. That's when I got there. But anyways, we've got our chest. We open it, it's a new card. Huzzah, we win. Now you just keep going through that cycle again. Or it ends up being tokens. Well, that's not so bad. I can get the card that I want in the token shop. And that's the cycle. And then I just hope I keep opening those chests, getting the tokens, getting the new cards, and then it's happy days. Except not quite. As you can see here, cards in the token shop are really expensive. It costs 1,000 tokens for a series 3 card. So like I was saying, if you just got into series 3, which is about level 464, and then up to 1,000, so that's about another 500 levels, you're only going to get 100 tokens 25% of the time. There is pity timers, until you start getting tokens, but still we're looking at like a few weeks at least until you probably have enough to get a series 3 card. And then even worse is series 4 is 3,000, series 5 is 6,000. Now this wouldn't be an issue if you could get tokens somewhere else, if it wasn't just from my chests or bundles. That's the other means to getting tokens that we are aware of at this time. There are select bundles that will carry tokens. Otherwise, it's entirely through chests, which already, like, I've been trying to open enough chests just to get enough tokens to get Null, who's coming out soon. And I don't even think I'll be able to do that despite being a content creator playing this game all the time. I've opened about 20 chests and I've got barely any tokens to my name. Like, it's really difficult. And then maybe I thought it was okay if it was just like a few series 5 cards that stayed there forever, like Galactus, Thanos, that kind of thing. And then mostly the new cards that would come out would go to series 4 or 3, maybe something like that. But unfortunately, that's not the case. As far as I know, I could be incorrect here, but as far as I know and what they've confirmed is that every new card is going to go to series 5. 5, which means it's going to cost 6,000 tokens. Whether that's a game-changing card or just something kind of meh, it's going to cost 6,000 tokens. Meaning when these cards even drop, we're hardly going to see them. It's not even going to feel like a new card in the game because very few players are going to own them. I just think it's too expensive, and let me provide some context to this. So there's going to be 4 new cards in Marvel Snap every month. One is going to come from your season pass. This is fantastic. This is a lot of new content to be excited about, right? The season pass I have no problem with. I think the pricing is fair. The contents within I have an issue with, which I'll get to in a second. But let's just look at the 3 cards that are going to cost tokens, which are going to go directly to Series 5. That's 18,000 tokens. I can't even buy tokens if I wanted to with real money directly. I have to roll them in the chests. Not only that, then I have to hope the token shop ends up rolling the card that I want in a timely fashion. And the quantity of tokens that I'm getting at a time is 100 or 400, and I have to get up to 6,000 just to get the one card that I want. That's challenging, man. Like, and every week a new card is dropping. Like, as a content creator, I personally want to showcase every new card so that you guys can see what they're all about, if they're good, if they're worth buying. But when new cards come out, I can't tell you if you can buy it or not because I haven't tried it. So like only the whales will prevail, and that's kind of a bummer. So there's just an absolute shortage of tokens in Marvel Snap. Now this currency is brand new. The token shop only just came out a few weeks ago. I have full confidence that Team Second Dinner is experimenting and trying to see what works and then receiving our feedback, and they're going to act on it. I guarantee you that's what they're doing right now. But I'm bringing it up early because I think everybody is in a bit of a honeymoon stage, because when we got this token shop, when we got these tokens, they gifted us a whole bunch. I think they gave out 12,000 to anyone who's collection level 3,000 or over. That's 2 Series 5 cards. So it didn't feel so bad, right? Boom, I get 2 cards to try. I'll just keep waiting in my shop until the ones that show up. So maybe it takes about a week until I spend all those tokens. And now we're probably all token broke. Unless you were smart and saved them for an upcoming card. But even then, that means you don't have any of the Series 5 or 4 cards to have fun with right now. I really wanted to play with Shuri, Absorbing Man, She-Hulk even. I had to pass on her. I just don't have the tokens. And there's no shot I'm going to have those tokens anytime soon the way it currently is, unless I spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on this game, which I'm just not going to do. And honestly, I wouldn't encourage anyone to do so. The fun part about Marvel Snap is collecting the cards through natural means of progression. It's how the game's advertised, and I think it's how it should be played. And now here come the trolls that start saying, oh, well, it's a mobile game. What did you expect? Of course, mobile games always do this. Well, I would argue that Marvel Snap has already innovated beyond typical mobile game standards. They've just proven it time and time again. Nexus events were a great example of how they changed that and then refunded everybody. It was insane. So I just don't think that this is the case, and I think that we can find a way to make this better. Aside from the token shortage, I have another major concern about the economy in Marvel Snap and how they've been handling things in the past that they maybe should readjust or change in the future, and that is balance changes. Balance changes are necessary for the life of Marvel Snap. If you don't have a balanced game, then everybody walks, they don't spend money on the game, and the game dies. That's essentially how it goes. So if you have to make balance changes, how do you balance the cards that people spend money on? But more in particular, if I buy the season pass, what happens if the card has to get nerfed in a week? What if it comes out and it's broken? Let's say Silver Surfer was even more broken than he maybe is right now, okay? He's a good card. I'm not going to say he should be nerfed or not. I don't have an opinion on that at the moment. But let's say Silver Surfer gave +5 power to all of his 3 cost cards, right, that you have on the board. That probably would be broken, I think we can safely assume. So what do they do? What do they do? What if he's running rampant? If you don't have Silver Surfer and you didn't pay for the season pass, are you just screwed? You just don't play the game anymore because you can't win against these decks? No, they got to come in with the nerf bat and fix the card. But now people have paid like $10, or whatever the season pass costs for your currency. And the whole reason was because the card was really exciting, and now you nerfed it and it might be unplayable. And now my value has completely shot down and I feel bad and I don't get anything for it. Or what if I'm saving tokens for months because I've been wanting to get this one card? I'm super stoked to finally get it. And finally, I've saved up 6K tokens for Thanos. and then they nerf him for some weird reason. And like I just bought him with all those tokens I've been saving up for months, and they just nerfed him, and now I can't even really play him even though I was hyped for it. That would feel really bad. Or the bundles. The bundles are pretty expensive. They're a premium cost, I would say, because there's a lot of cosmetics in it. And you know what? Fair game. Cosmetics. I have no problem with monetizing cosmetics. That's the way games should do it, because people are always going to buy them. They look fantastic in this game. But if you get a cosmetic, let's say a variant in a bundle for a card that you don't currently own, you will be able to play with that card. It's kind of a workaround of getting a card that you don't own. At the moment, there's a bundle with Gambit. He's a Series 3 card. If you buy that bundle, you can actually start to use Gambit despite not having the base version. But what if that card got nerfed? And the whole reason you bought the bundle was that you could play with Gambit. And then they nerf Gambit. Like I'm talking, that's like $30+ that you're out because you wanted to get that one card and then it just got nerfed. And at the moment, they're not doing any refunds. So what I'm getting at is in Hearthstone, for instance, when they nerf a card, they give a dust refund, okay? I think that's, for the most part, kept the player base happy. I think there should be a token refund in Marvel Snap. I'm going to get into it a little bit with my solutions here coming up. But then there's also the argument of balance versus compensation. Do we want them to have free liberties over balance despite whatever we're paying for it? And you just have to know when you buy a card, you run the risk of it getting nerfed. And that's just fair game, you know? So just be conscious of your purchases. Or do we want that money back and that tokens back or whatever it is every time they nerf cards? So they're much more hesitant to nerf anything, right? Because they want that money. They got to make money. These are hardworking people. And so we just end up with less balance changes and a bit of more of a rough meta that lasts longer. It's a sticky situation. I don't exactly know the right answer, but let's get into my solutions for a few of these problems. All right, number one, and probably the least controversial take on this whole video, is remove titles and booster rewards from the season and rank tracks. Replace them with tokens. I was shook when I saw there was no tokens in this season's pass. I just thought that was a gimme. You just released the token shop. We need more methods of getting tokens. Even if it was behind the paywall of buying the season pass, maybe that would have been okay, but there was none. There was nothing. Instead, we had titles. What? I couldn't believe it. Nobody needs titles. They're cool. Like I don't hate the fact that titles exist in the game. I kind of hate it when I get it from a chest. I kind of hate it when it takes over the spot that tokens could be in my season pass. That's brutal. I even hate it worse when I'm grinding rank and my reward is a title. Like, oh my gosh, it's brutal because I have titles. I got some titles, guys, and I like them. The titles that I have, I'm cool with. I'm done. I don't need any more titles, no matter what cool saying there is. So I just think this was a huge miss, and they got to get rid of those ASAP for next season. The other thing is boosters. Nobody needs boosters. You play the cards, you get boosters. That's like just how the currency should work. When they're in your season pass, it's brutal. And they're actually at the beginning of the rank track, but that's not a big deal because pretty much everyone resets to at least 30 and it's behind 30. So it's mostly for new players. So that's not too big a deal. But in the season pass, you can acquire random boosters. It just applies to a random card in your collection. And yeah, I don't think we need it. I mean, sometimes it's not bad. You get them for cards that you don't play and then you can upgrade those cards. But I think for the most part, it's just better to just play with those cards, play a few games, grind some boosters or something. I don't know. I just feel like we don't need it. We especially do not need titles. And this would be a perfect opportunity to place some tokens in, give back the tokens a little bit so that we actually have a chance of getting the cards we want when they release. Okay, number 2 is monthly series adjustments. Now, they haven't confirmed or denied that this wouldn't happen, so I have full faith that they will. I do actually believe they said eventually cards will be reduced from their current series, but I think it should be on a monthly basis. And if anything, I think the cards that are released shouldn't always go to Series 5. Some of them should go to Series 4 and just be 3,000 tokens if they're not that exciting. Now, it might become subjective to determine whether a card is exciting enough to be 3,000 tokens or 6,000. So that's a bit difficult. But at least just reduce it and let us know in advance. Gosh, let us know like day one of the season so that if people really want to play with the card now, they can pay the premium price of 6,000 tokens, or they'll know if they just wait another month, it'll be 3,000 tokens, more likely to show up in my chests, more likely to show up in my token shop, and I can just hold off and save 3,000 tokens instead of 6,000. Ouch. And while we're at it, why don't we drop Series 4 cards to Series 3? And let's just make sure to do it in advance. Give us enough notice. Don't just do it on a balance change or something like that. I feel like people need to know, or else it's going to feel real bad if the day before you spent 6, 3, even 1,000 tokens on a card, and then it gets reduced in its series. I don't know if any Series 3 cards will go to 2 ever again. It has happened in the past with Sandman and Killmonger. They used to be Series 3. But anyways, I just feel like this is a necessary component to Marvel Snap as the overall collection grows. And lastly, I think that there should be a 50% token refund on nerfed or reworked cards. If you own the card, it gets nerfed. Give 50% of tokens back. Now, I don't know how to evaluate this exactly, okay? So you're probably thinking, well, this is a trash idea, because what if I spent 6,000 tokens and then it got reduced, switched series or something, and then it was 3,000 tokens? What kind of refund am I looking at? And my take is whatever active series it is, because if you got it at Series 5, then you've been using it far in advance than other players, and you've had it for a very long time, so you got value out of the card, and then when it drops in series and then maybe gets nerfed, you get half of that value. I feel like that's pretty fair. And I don't even know if half of the tokens is fair enough, but it just seemed like a okay roundabout number that I just came up with. You guys let me know what you think is right. Overall, let me know what you would do about this situation, if you even think it's a problem or not. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just expressing my feelings and trying to create a discussion on this topic because I don't see it enough. You know, they gave us those big boost of tokens and it felt good, and I think that's starting to really wear off, and the shortage is just going to continue to shrink as new cards come out. It's going to feel bad. I don't want new cards coming out to feel bad for the general player base. I want them to feel like they have an opportunity to play with the new shiny thing. It'd be awesome. So in conclusion, guys, just trust Team Second Dinner. I genuinely believe that they're going to pull through here. They're going to find more ways to incorporate tokens. They're only just getting feelings out for this, and that's exactly why I'm trying to make this video, so that by some chance people can start talking about it, they become aware, and they can receive this kind of feedback. So just have faith in the team. This game is fantastic. It's only going to get better. New cards is exciting. Token shops are exciting. We just need to tweak the numbers, I believe. That's my take on this. So anyways, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. There are no wrong or right takes. This is just discussion based. This is just opinions, right? We'll find more details soon as the game continues to update. Anyways, go check out the sick hero music video they just put out. It is so good. It's at the official Marvel Snap YouTube. It's, oh my gosh, it's so good. New variants and stuff, the art style, the music, it was fantastic. This game is awesome. It's so good. Thank you guys for watching. I will catch you next time. Peace out.